this is Common Dreams article talking about how the Israeli bombing of Gaza ranks among the most devastating in history. In case you weren't sure about that, there really is no modern instance of something being done at this level in this speed. To read from some of the article, that's more than twice the number of civilians. So this is several days ago. They're talking about only 20,000 civilians killed whereas now it's over 25,000 because this is from several days ago. But still, you'll get the point. That's more than twice the number of civilians and over 14 times as many children as Russian forces have killed in Ukraine since February 2022. The average in the Russian proxy war in Ukraine is one child killed a day. That's been the average, apparently, roughly that. In Gaza, it's hundreds of children killed a day. That's the difference. Thousands, continue from the article, thousands more Palestinians are missing and feared buried beneath the rubble of the hundreds of thousands of buildings destroyed or damaged by Israeli bombardment. And that is why you hear some people, despite the official number being 25,000 innocent people killed in Gaza, you'll hear some people say it is over 30,000. And that's because there are a lot of people missing that many believe are just under the rubble and you won't find their body for a long time. But that's likely where they are. To continue from the article, the scale of Palestinian civilian deaths in such a short period of time appears to be the highest such civilian casualty rate in the 21st century. And you really, as I'm going to talk about, or maybe it's in this article, maybe I'm jumping the gun here. Let's see. Robert Pape, a U.S. military historian and University of Chicago professor, told the AP that Gaza is one of the most intense civilian punishment campaigns in history, and mass punishment on civilians is a war crime. So all of this is describing war crimes. By some measures, Israel's bombing of Gaza is surpassing the Allied terror bombing of German cities during World War II. You, of course, know about some of that, such as Dresden, which was not known, the firebombing of Dresden was not known as a particularly military zone. It didn't have a lot to do with the German military, but the Allied bombing campaign decided to just, kill as many people as possible, as many Germans, and interrupt their supply lines, etc. And so they turned Dresden into just a giant flaming ball of death. And which, of course, was written about by Kurt Vonnegut because he was in a cellar, one of the few who survived that moment. But what was I talking about? But U.S. and U.K. strikes obliterated about 40 to 50% of the urban areas of the 51 German cities bombed between 1942 and 1945, and that around 10% of all buildings in Germany were destroyed. In Gaza, approximately 1 in 3 buildings have been destroyed. In northern Gaza, over 2/3 of all buildings have been leveled.